In the world of hip-hop, few artists have generated as much controversy, loyalty, and debate as Kentrell Deshaun Golden. Known to millions as NBA YoungBoy, he's a figure who defies simple categorization. By age 25, he had accumulated over 100 million streams, multiple platinum records, and a devoted fan base that rivals any artist in the genre. But perhaps more striking than his musical achievements is another number. By his early 20s, YoungBoy had become a father to over a dozen children with multiple women. This is the story of how one of hip-hop's most polarizing figures navigated fame, fatherhood, and the complex web of relationships that would define not just his personal life, but his entire public persona. To understand YoungBoy's story, we must go back to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where a teenager with raw talent and endless ambition was about to change the game forever. But even as his career began to take off, another chapter of his life was already unfolding, one that would prove just as defining. In 2016, at just 17 years old, YoungBoy welcomed his first child with Nisha Keller, a son named Caden. While most teenagers were worried about high school graduation, YoungBoy was balancing studio sessions with diaper changes, learning to be both an artist and a father. The relationship with Nisha would span years, marked by both tender moments and public disputes. In 2020, they would welcome a daughter, Armani, adding another layer to an already complex family dynamic. As YoungBoy's music career accelerated through 2017, so did the complexity of his personal life. That same year, he welcomed 2 more children with 2 different women, a pattern that would become a defining characteristic of his young adulthood. With Trinia, known as Nia, came son Talon. Their relationship played out partially in the public eye, with social media posts offering glimpses into their dynamic, sometimes loving, sometimes turbulent. Meanwhile, star Dejanay entered the picture, bringing with her a son from a previous relationship named Cameron, whom YoungBoy initially claimed as his own. Later, their biological son Kamiri was born. The situation grew complicated when DNA tests revealed that Cameron was not YoungBoy's biological child. Yet he continued to play a fatherly role, showing a complexity that often gets lost in the headlines. Here we see perhaps the first glimpse of the man behind the controversial image, someone willing to care for a child regardless of biology, even as his own life spiraled through legal troubles and industry pressures. If any relationship would capture the public's fascination, it was the tumultuous saga with Jania Michelle. Their romance was a roller coaster that played out across social media platforms, complete with public breakups, reconciliations, and dramatic confrontations. In 2019, they welcomed son Casey Alexander, but their relationship was anything but stable. Public arguments, cheating allegations, and bitter social media exchanges became tabloid fodder. The drama surrounding Jania and YoungBoy became almost as famous as his music, with fans taking sides and every Instagram story analyzed for hidden meanings. The Jania era revealed how YoungBoy's personal life had become inseparable from his public persona. Every relationship decision was scrutinized, every family moment dissected by millions of followers who felt entitled to judge his choices. As 2020 arrived, so did the pandemic, and with it, more children. With Dre Simone, YoungBoy welcomed daughter Cody Capri, adding yet another layer to his growing family tree. But it was another relationship that would thrust YoungBoy into an entirely different level of public scrutiny. When Iana Mayweather, daughter of boxing legend Floyd Mayweather, became pregnant with YoungBoy's child, the hip-hop world took notice. The birth of Kentrell Jr. in 2021 connected YoungBoy to one of sport's most famous families, but also brought unprecedented media attention. Every aspect of their relationship was magnified through the lens of Floyd Mayweather's celebrity, adding pressure that few 21-year-olds could handle. Before we continue unraveling this complex story, take a moment to subscribe to our channel. The stories we tell here don't just chronicle celebrity drama. They explore the human cost of fame, the weight of responsibility, and the real lives behind the headlines. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we dig deeper into stories that matter. By 2021, something began to shift in YoungBoy's narrative. Enter Jaslyn Michelle, a woman who would eventually become his wife and represent what many saw as his most stable relationship. With Jaslyn came daughter Alice Nora in 2021, followed by son Clemenza True in 2022. Unlike his previous relationships, this one seemed to offer something different: consistency, privacy, and a sense of partnership that had been missing from his earlier chapters. The marriage to Jaslyn marked a turning point, not just in his personal life, but in how he presented himself publicly. Gone were the chaotic social media exchanges and public drama. In their place emerged a more mature version of YoungBoy, one who seemed to understand the weight of his responsibilities. Yet even as YoungBoy appeared to be settling into a more stable phase, questions continued to swirl. In 2022, rumors surfaced about a relationship with a woman known as Arcola, reportedly resulting in a son named Kale. The internet became a detective agency, with fans analyzing every photo, every social media interaction, every public appearance for clues. Forums dedicated to tracking YoungBoy's relationships sprouted across platforms, turning his personal life into a crowdsourced investigation. Then came whispers of other possible children. Names like Kiori surfaced in online discussions, though concrete confirmation remained elusive. The line between fact and speculation became increasingly blurred, with YoungBoy himself rarely confirming or denying the rumors. This culture of speculation revealed something troubling about celebrity culture: the way private family matters become public entertainment, and how the children at the center of these stories rarely have a voice in how their lives are discussed and dissected. As we piece together this complex puzzle, a larger question emerges. What does it mean for a young man to have fathered over a dozen children by his mid-20s? And what does this tell us about fame, responsibility, and the culture that consumes these stories? Each of these relationships shaped not just YoungBoy's personal narrative, but his artistic output. Songs about heartbreak, responsibility, and family became recurring themes in his music. His experiences as a young father influenced everything from his work ethic to his legal troubles to his relationship with his own mortality. But perhaps more importantly, each relationship brought children into the world. Children who didn't choose to be born into the spotlight, who didn't ask for their family dynamics to become public entertainment. The women in these stories, too, found their lives forever changed. Some embraced the attention, others retreated from it, but all had to navigate the unique challenges of co-parenting with one of hip-hop's most scrutinized figures. Today, NBA YoungBoy stands as a figure of contradictions. He's a devoted father who's publicly struggled with the demands of parenting multiple children. He's an artist whose personal life often overshadows his musical achievements. He's a young man who was forced to grow up quickly, yet sometimes seemed unprepared for the weight of his responsibilities. The numbers are staggering. Over a dozen children, multiple relationships, countless headlines, and millions of dollars in child support obligations. But behind these statistics are real people. Children who need stability, women navigating complex co-parenting arrangements, and a young man trying to balance fame with fatherhood. His story raises uncomfortable questions about our culture's relationship with celebrity, responsibility, and family. We celebrate his musical success while scrutinizing his personal choices. We consume the drama while forgetting about the children caught in the middle. Yet there are signs of growth. His marriage to Jaslyn suggests a desire for stability. His continued financial support for all his children shows responsibility. His music continues to evolve, often reflecting the lessons learned from his complex family life. The story of NBA YoungBoy and his extended family is still being written. As his children grow and his relationships evolve, one thing remains clear. This is more than just celebrity gossip. It's a complex human story about love, responsibility, fame, and the price of growing up in public. Whether YoungBoy's legacy will ultimately be defined by his music or his personal life remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. The lives he's helped create will continue long after the headlines fade, carrying forward a story that's far more complex and human than any documentary could fully capture.
Bye, princess! Thank y'all.